Welcome back to this weekend Showdown with your host Bob, and we have a special guest co-host, Matt Gula himself, the Showdown Bot. How you doing, Matt?
I am good. Excited to be here. I watch every week, and now I can replace Jeff. I don't know if I can quite live up to Jeff's knowledge, but you know what? I'll give it a try.
Absolutely, and basically the big things to be a big Jeff person is to hate the Astros cheaters, and to hate actually excited about the pitching stuff that's going on, but also disgracefully that it's going on with the spider tax stuff. So he loves and hates it at the same time. It's very fun. He's a very passionate MLB fan.
Oh, I can tell. He
Yeah.
brings the passion. I got to bring the energy. I got to match him.
So, as always, this episode is brought to you by Showdown Cardbot at showdownbot.com and at MLB Showdown Bot on Twitter. And you're listening to Matt, who runs the bot. So if you want to do a really quick recap what the bot is, the people at home can know. And I know that you have one or two podcasts up with Jeff. So if they want to catch you there, they can get you there as well. But give me a Showdown Bot quick rundown.
Yeah. This is weirdly meta. Now I'm like, I listened to that intro, and now I'm like doing a little walkthrough of it. But basically, the bot, you just put in any name pretty much in MLB history. You put a year or multiple years as of a recent update, and then it just spits out a showdown card. You pick your set. I know people are very passionate about which set they want to know. I think you're a 2000 guy, right, Bob? I think
2000
that's
is
your
my
set.
is the one I fell in love with. But after
Mhm.
playing a couple seasons with 01, I've kind of leaned towards that's the way I go, and that's why I have made all these styles into 01. One, I think the artwork is better because they went away from the full body art and they zoomed into about belt high art, which gave them more better graphics and I think a better visibility on the cards. I think they did a very good job. So I started in 00, but 01 is kind of still in my heart.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer, so I'm kind of an 0405 guy. So
Mm-hmm.
I have, just by making the bot, have become a 2001 guy just because I think it's just the best overall set.
Well, I used to
But
have the entire 2000 collection. Well, I still do, but I had it
mm,
all framed and mounted on my wall. It took like six poster
the
frames.
entire collection you had
Yeah,
framed?
not the strategy cards, but like one through I don't know what was it 460 or something like that.
Yeah, 462, something like that.
462.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever ends with David Wells, I believe. So anyway, it
Yeah.
ran through. But what was so cool about it took up six poster boards. I had them all framed in these things. And what was the best thing about it was like an art piece because of the color just rainbowed as you walked by it. Um, and it was cool until I
That's
moved into a
beautiful.
house, and then my wife was like, where are we gonna put that? And all my friends, they like baseball. I'm like, what if I just take the frames down and we just play with my cards? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. All of a sudden, fast forward, I'm making cards with Matt and Peter, and boom, now we're here. So,
Wow. How
so
far you come. That's insane.
yes. So, I mean, I would say I played when it first came out, and the people that are watching or listening, you could just go online and make your own Showdown card. Everyone's always wanted to do it. Obviously, I wanted to do it. Now, Matt has created a really quick, basically web app, and you could do it. We just showed my buddy Dusty the other day, and he was blown away by how quickly and easy it was. He was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool." I'm like, "Exactly." So, because of that, and because of how fast it works, we are able to do this basically this week in Showdown every week, which is the best four batters and the best four pitchers, and kind of one bad batter and one bad pitcher because that's the way Jeff likes it. So first up, we have a oldie but goodie, Fernandez Jr. Tatis
Yeah, this
loving
one.
this HD photo too.
Oh yeah, this is great. I feel like this card,
It's a fucking
it's really
monster.
strange because I know he was like a 9 on base. I think one of the weeks, I don't know if it was on this week in Showdown, but like in the beginning, he was like a 9 on base, like 14 or 13 home runs, something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's crazy that he's kept it up. I think he's been a 9 on base, 15 home run for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, he's nasty. Absolutely nasty. It reminds me of like Sammy Sosa from the 01, which
Mm.
is a 16 home run and he's a 9. And I've played with that card and he fucking rakes. So I can't even imagine, like, cause like Barry Bonds from 00 is this as well. And so this to me is like, this is like stupid powerful. There's no, and especially I think 590 is actually pretty cheap for this card, though the walk range just kind of hurts you a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
geez Louise, if you're having an A speed shortstop with a 9 on base that homers at 15 on your team, I think you draft this guy in a second.
Yeah,
Um,
he's like, I think about that one. There's like a Garcia Parra, I think, in the 01 set. That's kind of, I just think
I
about him
think
because
he's a
the shortstop plus
10.
two. Yeah, he's a 10 and he doubles at 15. So this card is literally a homer at 15. It's one less on base, but
Oh
still.
yeah, he
I
does double
mean,
at 15. And he's A speed, and he's only 80 more points. So this card, I think, is much more valuable in that terms. Um,
yeah.
the Garcia Parra, what's nice about it is he only out at 3, and then he walks 4, 5, and then he singles at 6. So you really do have to get that 50% higher dice roll to get a hit here. But it's just a ridiculous card. And then a side note, something happened with my fantasy app the other day. Pissed me off on Thursday, like no one was playing, so I put Tatis on my bench. Friday, I thought I put him in, didn't put him in. Friday, hits 3 home runs.
Oh,
So
oh,
yeah, it kind of hurt me. So I was kind of ticked off, but I knew he was going to be player of the week this week because he did so well. He had 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and he had a 500 on base for the week. So absolutely did great. I'm so glad to see him in here. So um, next up, we have a guy I didn't even know his name, Jake Cronworth. I believe it's Cronworth.
Cronenworth.
So I
It's like,
actually think this card's amazing. Again, I don't follow this guy. I don't really follow the Padres that well, but 4 homers this week, 9 RBIs, 7 runs, 481 on base for the week. But this card looks great. An 8 on base, that's 310. A second base plus 4 has 18 home run power. It's a pretty solid card.
yeah, you take this. I think this guy, I'm pretty sure he went to Michigan. I'm pretty sure he was in like the College World Series. Maybe I'm misremembering, but yeah, I take this guy because even like a draft, I don't know how you guys do your drafts, but like you can be versatile. Like you can draft them and then just stick them at first base if you need to.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I
so
just don't think
I
this
mean, I
card
love
hurts you.
this sort of utility.
Like a
Yeah,
300.8 that can hit home runs at 18, doubles at 16, not many outs. It doesn't hurt you, and that's what I think is so. I mean, he has 12 home runs in the season. He's a pretty solid card. Great pose. The card itself looks fantastic, and I think this is the kind of card that a lot of people definitely want to see and draft. And by the way, you should join one of our drafts because it's absolutely insane. And I think we have 12
I'd
people
love
in
to.
this last one, and I'm sure whatever Peter and Matt make will be our next series as well. So it's fantastic. So next up, Jordan Alvarez, and he looks like he just crushed this fucking ball. Like he's like, yeah, that's gone. But wacky card here. He hits 4 home runs this week, 11 RBIs. But like this is sort of like Tatis, but super slow and more strikeouts, less homers, obviously. But for 360, I guess I want him. I don't know. He's tough.
This is like a little. It's kind of a middle ground card. The 1 to 5 strikeout's pretty wild. I don't know. For 360, I'm trying to think of the other cards like in his range. I don't know. I may want some more speed instead.
I
I
know
mean,
that's
it's
what
solid, but he
kills me. The
does
C
single at
speed's
8.
rough.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, he's been.
I like being real fast. Like I really like my A speeds, and I really don't like going C unless I like punt it on a guy or something.
Yeah. I mean, and it's tough. Like he's been so weird because I think he was hurt all of last year, and he hit like 30 home runs in like 90 games his rookie year. I think he
Yeah,
won rookie of the year, and he only played like half the year. And I think he's back to kind of that.
I mean he's got 13 so
Um,
far.
yeah, it's kind of nuts. Yeah. If he just stays healthy, I mean, he's going to be um, obviously a solid power hitter for them. I just don't know if I draft this car. I don't know. I'd have to think about the other left fielders, but
Yeah, so what you don't know is a lot. It would really depend also on the depth of your pool. When we do these 12-team leagues, the depth starts to run out fast, and you're looking for value. And so I don't know if he fits the value mark really well for a lot of people. I think they'll pass on him. But like we've done an NL only league, and then you just grab like every freaking 9 that you can find.
yeah.
we
Do you
did it.
guys
We did
like?
NL
Yeah.
only with 8 teams, and it was a hard draft. That was a fun draft.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's you got to get like deep. Do you guys like cap
Yeah, we
points?
then we did a 5,000 point cap, and I think you had like
Okay.
18 minimum, 20 like maximum players, so you could get like an extra reliever. It all depends on the rules. We do a lot of custom rules because we don't play with strategy cards. So because we don't play with strategy cards,
Oh,
we do like manager options. You get so many manager options a game, and it sounds complicated, but it's really simple, and it makes obviously you could do a game in 30 minutes while keeping score 30 minutes. And so
no, I love that.
no strategy cards make the games fly by, and everyone that I've played with thinks that adding manager options as like you get like so many stolen bases or so many sacrifice bunts or intentional walks a game, stuff like that. You could do these things and then add like, oh, how's the ground ball works, certain double play balls, or advancing or errors. You can add all these rules in to layer up the thing, and we've added some reliever rules, and it's made the game really fun, and you feel like you're really in control without having to waste time on strategy cards. So
Yeah, that does take a while. The strats, that's what the group I play with. We play usually 0405 with strategy cards, and that is like an entire day to play a tournament.
oh yeah,
So
we
uh,
and so you where do you live at, Matt?
I'm in New York.
Okay, so you're not too far, but maybe you are. um, but we do these things called blind drafts. So this is what we want to do with these Showdown set when we're done this week in Showdown. We want to take all the Showdown cards, print them out, and then put them in a big box. You put them in a box with a little
Hmm.
slit in the top. You can't see the cards. You pick a card out of the hat, basically, put him on your team. If that spot's filled, he goes discarded pile, and you pick again until you can fill a spot. And it's amazing. You could do an entire draft in 30 minutes, and then you play 30-minute games, and you could do a whole blind draft thing in like 4 to 5 hours. We do
I
this.
love
We do
that.
this like during the summer. 2 years ago, we were doing it like once a month. We would just pick a set, throw it all in a big box. Everybody come over, have some beers, draft your team real quick. You could have your 4 starters and then pull Randy Johnson. You're like, oh nope, I already have 4 starters. He gets discarded. It's like, oh no. So we do tons of fun stuff like that, and that's the kind of stuff that I think you can have a lot of fun with these kind of guys and people at home. If you're like, how do I play with 4 guys? How do we make this really fast? Just grab a set, throw it in a box, draft your team in 30 minutes, and then just play everyone 1 or 2 games. And you could have so much fun in 4 hours. It's ridiculous.
Pray you get the glass now from like week 2.
Well, so that's the
That's what you
funny
need.
part. We were talking about like how DeGrom's going to have like 6 cards, so we have to figure out like you can't have the same name on your team. Obviously, this one's a little different, but we've done it with like full sets, like 01, 00, stuff like that. But let's continue
It's
because we have
incredible.
a new face to the This Week in Showdown, but a great player. He's actually second in the overall ratings this year, and he never made it this week because he's always just barely behind everyone else. And that's Vlad Guerrero Jr., who's having an absolute fucking monster of a season. It's 3 home runs this week, 9 hits, 8 runs. He has 26 homers in the season and a 443 on base. So he's got the 10-17 home run card here with only 2 out. Absolute monster. This card's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
this card, I mean, there are a lot of good first basemen in that 2001 set. There's like the McGuire in the, I guess, twilight of his career, but then you got the 11 on base guys.
Yep,
How
Delgado
much?
and Giambi.
I think Giambi might be 570 points too.
Ooh, I'll Google it real quick.
Because if he is, I don't know if I'd take. I think he's also 0 at first base, I assume.
He definitely is 0
But
at first base, and he is 570. That's a good call. Look at that
well, I
knowledge coming
study
through.
these. I study these points. I study these points too much. Yeah, I don't know if
So he's
because I
C
think
speed 570, and he's got 18
okay.
home run at 11. So
Mm,
the only thing I don't like about this Jamie card, because I've actually played him enough, is he walks so much. So he's 3 through 11 walk, and it's a lot of
mm,
walks. I like this being 8. I think that's so much better. I'd rather have Vlad as a little faster, and a little more power, because the 11 on base, yeah, it's going to get it 5% more of the time, the advantage. But I really I like Vlad in this situation. But the better question, I think, is would you rather take this Vlad or the Tatis that we just saw?
ooh.
And I think
I
Tatis
mean,
is the better answer there.
yeah, because it's at shortstop too. I mean, he doesn't give you that much defense over there, but I feel like you can get a cheaper first baseman
Yeah,
that can hit still.
yeah, I think you can slide anyone really, and especially with depending on the rules everyone plays, it's not usually that hurtful to play someone out of position at first. And sometimes you just had to take a small penalty if you had to do something crazy. But there's a lot of first basemen. but a 9 speed that homers at 15, I think, is just the absolute beast. But what's so cool is this week we basically had the top 2 players in the league in this week in Showdown, which was great for everyone at home to see.
Yeah, finally. He long overdue for Vladdy to get in there.
Absolutely. So then it brings us to our basically our, I don't know what you call it, like the shame of the week. You want to call it Trey Mancini. He had a great solid beginning of the season. He had a ton of RBIs. He has 52 this year, but in 25 at bats in the last 7 days, he's had 2 hits and 1 run. And no RBIs. So really hurt his value this past week, dropping him down to a 7 on base, C speed. He's still got some power, but it's really I don't think I'd waste a 7. This photo cracks me up. He looks so worried.
He's like, my on base percentage is dipping. Yeah. This is you get a little bit of slugging here with the 14-16 double too.
It's just a 7 on base.
I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean,
he needs to get back to it. He needs to get to at least an 8 for me to be thinking about something like this. And of course that's going to up his points, but
yeah, and I'd rather take somebody better at first base, like hitting wise. I don't know,
like Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I'd take that for 170. I'd take Vlad Jr. That's for sure.
Oh, of course. But yes, so Trey, get it back together. I know the Orioles have been bad, but we need you to get back to being hot. So we're going to switch over now to the pitchers, and we got Kyle Gibson. He's having a pretty damn good year with a 2 ERA for the season. He's got a 1.46 this week. It's 2 wins and 13 strikeouts over 12 innings. But again, having a great season here. He's got the 4-17 out with no doubles. Like, that's pretty damn good.
Is 570 though? Are you going to pay? Are you going to want a 5 control? Maybe you could probably get a 5 control 16 out, but you may. The no doubles is kind of huge though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a little pricey for me. I do think the card is awesome, and I've seen like DeGrom, who's like a 4-1 through 18, just absolutely wreck. I love 4 control guys, and I like the 4-1 through 16. But the 4-1 through 16s are usually in like the 400 point range, like under 500. So that's where like it just worries me a little bit. Maybe the no doubles would bring him over 500, but I mean, this card's pretty nice.
Yeah, there's. I'm trying to remember too. I could be wrong here. There was a similar. I think there's only 1 or 2 of the 4 control 17s in the 01 set. I forget who they are, frankly.
I'm trying to think. I thought Kevin Brown was the guy.
Yes, but he has a double, I think.
So Kevin Brown is 570, exactly the same, but he has the double. But Kevin Brown has 1 more IP.
Ooh. So who do you take the double, or do you take?
I think I take
lack of double.
I think I take the lack of double, and I think I just bump up my bullpen. And what I will say is I've seen that Kevin Brown absolutely destroy leagues. So, though his Kevin Brown from 00 was even better in my opinion. But I like the 4-1 through 17 out. The Kevin Brown, the only thing that sucked about that card was the no walks. That double would hurt him. Taking that double away and basically giving it a walk, I think is absolutely freaking huge.
I take the Gibson.
Yeah, this Gibson card's better than I guess I'm thinking. So yeah, go Kyle and keep it up for the rest of the year because Texas isn't doing good. So maybe
he'll probably be traded.
You're right. It just sucks. I see all these cool people and I'm like, Jeff was talking about someone else last. Who was talking about Trevor Story? I think possibly being traded, and I'm like, man, I like the Rockies and I like Trevor Story.
I know they'll probably both be dealt, but hopefully not to the Yankees.
Yeah, I don't like the Yankees. I'm kind of like, I mean, obviously I'm an Indians fan, but I kind of like rooting for the White Sox a little bit right now because they were so bad for a little bit and they're kind of cool now.
Yeah.
So I could root for them.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. What else? We'll see. I just don't want the Dodgers or the Yankees. I just want none of these high salary teams. So next up, we have Clayton Kershaw, who, no matter how old he is, still pitches great. So another 4-1 through 17, but now this one's got the double. Brings him down 40 points. So now I think, in my opinion, I know what my friends would say, the no double's not worth it in a sense. Like, you don't hunt for the no doubles, but if it falls to you, I think I'd draft Kyle Gibson and I take him over Clayton Kershaw here.
Yeah, this is almost, I don't know I forget what Kevin Brown's strikeout or ground ball range is, but it's pretty much the same
It's 8 through
based on what you
14,
were saying.
ground ball range, and fly ball 15 through 17.
So pretty similar. I
Very,
mean,
very
besides the one
similar.
innings pitched.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I spend the 40 and get Gibson.
Yeah, but those Clayton
Um,
Kershaw's great. I mean, I think this is a great card. I think any 4 through 17 out is phenomenal, and hopefully everyone can get these. I mean, he had 2 starts this week. He had 1 win, though he had 20 strikeouts.
oh
Um,
wow.
and his ERA for the season is 3.25, WHIP of 0.98. So he has 124 strikeouts in 102 innings, just still crushing it.
I
But I
can't,
think
but he's just like ageless.
well,
It's
that's what we were
nuts.
talking about last week. I think we had Adam Wainwright, and he was 39 years old. And I was like, how is this guy still pitching this well? I mean, Kershaw's 33, but I mean, that's younger than me. So I guess
Yeah,
he's
but for
ancient.
MLB, he's
He's
ancient. Yeah,
ancient.
exactly.
So like
That's what I was about to say.
Adam
Yeah.
Wainwright's like 1,000. So, but yeah, great job, Kershaw. Keep it up. It's like really cool to see all these great studs again, and then random people like this next guy, Merrill Kelly, just sliding in here. Kind of looks like he's high in this picture. Um, but he has 2 wins this week, 13 innings, 10 strikeouts, 0.69 ERA for the week. He brings his ERA from down to a 4.73. So he's got the 3 1 through 17, which is obviously much better than normal. Um, but it's interesting. I don't know. I don't usually like 3 controls, but I guess if I did have one, I like that he's 17 out. I just don't know if I want to spend 410 points for a 3 control.
No, yeah, I think there are better options too. I think there's a Randy Johnson that's a better option. If you're gonna, you know, bring in the actual original sets. But yeah, I don't like the no walk, frankly. I don't know. I have a tough time drafting this kind of card, especially with like a lower control. This was
Yeah.
like a 4 control and had a walk maybe with a 16 out. I think I'd prefer that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think absolutely I would slide if I could slide the 17 to a walk, go to 16 out, but go to 4 control. I'd much rather have that card.
Oh yeah.
So this is kind of a no for me. Though weird, I did not know that they put their numbers on their belts. Very, very strange.
Yeah, that is. I didn't even notice that.
Speaking of
Weird.
belts, Max Scherzer.
Oh,
Well, I like that transition.
great transition. That was amazing.
He has 11 innings this week, 2 wins, 15 Ks, 1.64. So he's on the season. He's a 2.14. So he's better than the other 2 guys we talked about. He's a tier 1 pitcher. So so we just talked about Kyle Gibson being a 417 no double at 570 for 100 more points. Are you taking Max Scherzer? 110 more points. I mean, this is
If
Pedro
Pedro
Martinez.
Martinez
Yeah.
is exactly, if he's not available, because I don't, yeah, again, I don't remember the strikeout ranges, but he definitely has 7 innings pitched. So
Yeah,
I,
so
I think he was 700.
Pedro's 700, and he was 3 through 10 strikeout, so the same strikeout range but less pop ups, and he had the extra IP, and again, and so he had 1 more ground ball, so made him a tad better in my opinion for Pedro, but 700 and everyone took him, and he just fucking wins games. So you just take this card, you win a game basically.
Yeah, 100%. I
So
think you take this guy.
and I think and I think someone did an analysis that Pedro was undervalued. Like they did his card wrong. He should have been worth more points. But it's like how do you justify like a 720 or 30 point card? And like no one else
No,
is
it's
close to him.
yeah. I think the bot because when
I
I
think this
run,
is dead
I
on.
do
I think
test.
680 is a pretty stellar. I think it's accurate, but we can let Boschwalk tell you if it's right or wrong.
No, I know. I was about to say I do tests on it, and the bot has Pedro when you run it through him with his stats, like the points calculator. I think gives him 720 or
Yep.
730.
That's what I think. That
Um,
730 is probably about the right number for the original Pedro. I think it's actually cheaper at 700.
yeah, because the 2000 version was a little bit less and had a double
Yep.
instead of a walk, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, I take either Scherzer or Pedro.
Oh, for
If you
sure.
have this kind of guy, I'm a big like take 3 good starters,
Oh, really?
depending on
You're a
how.
3 starter guy,
Well, I
man.
mean, the 2001 set may be different in that in the 04 and 05 set, you can get like solid starters for not that much because they just, I don't know what they were doing with the points, but you can get some good value guys. I don't know if do people usually do that in the 01 or
So
2000 sets?
what I've seen is everyone unless you're Jeff, who completely just went like all low pitchers to try it out. Almost everyone grabs one monster starter because they go fast, and then they will either grab two to three maybe, and they punt their fourth, or they'll go two and then they'll have two mid tier guys. What I do is I usually grab one monster and then I grab two mid tier guys, and then I punt my fourth, and then I stack my bullpen.
Oh yeah, definitely punt on the fourth. I
Yeah.
think that's just a no-brainer. Yeah, and then yeah, definitely yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Like I would
I
draft
feel
this
like
card
that's
in a
big.
heartbeat. I think
Oh yeah,
this card, it basically can go the full game. So he basically at the end of the game is a three control,
mhm.
and who cares? I mean, again, we talked about the other guy being 317. That's fine, but even not,
Yeah,
even if you take him out in the ninth and just throw your closer in, um, I think you're good. But man, I feel like you're just not letting up any runs. Like if they
yeah,
get the advantage, they're getting maybe a single. So I
yeah.
saw
That's
I saw DeGrom's, was it 2018 I think card, who I think he was a 4 1 through 18 out, so the same tier, just kill everyone. Just no one got on base. So
yeah,
if you got
and
the
I prefer
advantage,
this
you
one.
you home run. That was the only chance you had.
Yeah, no, this is a great card.
Yeah, absolutely monster. And so we'll slide over then to the shame of the week, Mike Minor, which is a shame to say this because I actually think he's been having a great few weeks. He had a couple rough outings here and there. I have him in my fantasy league. I think he's been absolutely great for me. He'll give me a couple quality starts here and there, but against Texas, he goes 5 innings and lets up 9 earned runs and 11 hits and balloons his ERA. So that hurt. And man, he looks a little rough in this picture. He looks old. Looks really
Yeah,
old.
he does.
The picture on like ESPN is like clean shaven. He looks like super young, but this picture with a grayish beard makes him look really old. But he's also 33, same as Kershaw. But
Oh wow.
for the season, he's got a 5-year raise, so he's getting and he's a 1.26 WHIP. So he gets a 3 here. Again, bunch of 17 out guys this week. So every pitcher was basically a 17 out guy, and 3 control. I don't want to spend the money on him. I don't.
No.
If you people at home want to, more power to you, but it's not for me. Mike Miner, get it turning around because I got you on my fantasy team. I need the support. So
Yeah, no, this card, yeah, I'm not taking this card, but it's surprising that he has that high of an ERA with kind of, I don't know what the league average whip is this year, but that's kind of average to above average, I think.
yeah,
So that's like, he must be, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe letting up a lot of homers or something. I don't know.
maybe again. I've had him on my fantasy team, and I think he's been very good. He has some good
Hmm.
outings with a lot of innings, and I'm getting quality starts, which is what I need in my fantasy leagues. Then he just gets blown up and killed me, so that was a little rough. But I've had a little rough week in fantasy this week with Tatis on my bench and Mike Miner getting roughed up, so that hurt.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Not a good week.
Well, again, thank you, Matt, for joining us this week, and I hope again you'll join us again in the following weeks, and we'll have hopefully Jeff in here, and he could just shoot the shit too. So, thank you.
Gosh. It may be an hour long. You're going to have to extend this. This is going to be with 3 people. It's going to be nuts.
And Jeff did say, because Jeff was packing for vacation this week, so thank you, Jeff. But he was like, if I'm on there, we're going to talk for an hour, especially about, I think, Scherzer getting his belt taken off and checking for sticky tack. He would have went on like a half-hour rant on that. But thank you again, Matt, and thank you everyone for listening. Subscribe, like, and keep us getting that content going.
Love it.
Peace.